Hey guys, we just got a new job as a flight attendant. I've been a flight attendant for 2 months now. And in this video, I'm going to talk about flight attendant training. So I'm going to answer some questions and tell you what happens, or not questions, but I'm going to tell you what happens in flight attendant training. So before I start this video, I want to say I am whispering because there are people sleeping. So you can hear me, so I guess it doesn't matter. And I want to say, yes, I am wearing the sweatshirt again, and no, I don't care about your opinion. This is my favorite sweatshirt, and I can wear it as much as I want. So anyway, flight attendant training. So I am a flight attendant with a small regional airline, wholly owned by a mainline or a bigger airline. Flight attendant training, I went to my training in Minneapolis. I first went to my interview, and during that interview there were 8 of us. All 8 of us, we received a conditional job offer, meaning if we all passed our drug test and our background check, we would go to flight attendant training. And 7 out of 8 of us did, and we went off. At training was about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks long, and the biggest piece of advice I would give is to focus. We had 2 people go home because personal issues. They sent themselves home. And then we had 1 girl, she got kicked out because she failed 3 of our exams. And specifically from my airline, you had to pass all of your exams with an 80% or higher. You were allowed 1 retake for all of the 3 exams, and she failed all of them. I remember the moment I realized that she failed, someone pointed out to me, they're like, they said, they sent so-and-so home. And I remember that day because she was sitting right behind me. And it was funny because when we got back, someone else was sitting there. So they like tapped her really quietly, told her to take her things and get out. When it came to failing tests, several people failed tests from my class. I'd say about 10 people out of 43 failed tests before. So it's pretty common. I failed 1 test and I made sure I passed. I failed a test and I made sure that whenever I had a question, I would ask my instructor. If I didn't understand what the question meant during the test, I would ask my instructor for clarification, because I could not afford to come all the way to flight attendant training, leave everything, stop looking for a job, because at the time I was looking for a full-time position as well. You know, if this didn't work out, then I was gonna like have a full-time position in an office or something. But you know, I couldn't afford to fail my quizzes and be sent home. Like, that was unacceptable for me. But I just want to say, like, you know, if you go to flight attendant training and you happen to like fail a quiz or 2, it's not the end of the world. Many people fail at least 1 test and they move on, become a flight attendant, they graduate. I would say, you know, some people, they go to training for the wrong thing. I went with the mindset that I wanted to be a flight attendant and I couldn't afford to fail, because people leave for 3.5 weeks, they quit their jobs to be a flight attendant. You know, it's a big sacrifice you're taking to be a flight attendant. So I would say go in there with your mind focused. Don't get caught up in drama. In my class we had drama going on. Something big that really happened in my class, there were a lot of cliques forming, and me personally, I'm not a dramatic person, so if I see you're one of those people, I'm not gonna go and Like, I don't want to associate with you. I don't want to hang out with you. There were times where people would, well, someone got into a fight. I also heard there was a verbal fight. Someone passed out drunk. And this was all happening at the time where we have a conditional job offer at this point. It's not we're not officially flight attendants at this point. So they can kick us out of training and we're done. I would just say, you know, when you go to training, don't be one of those people who just don't be one of those people who are into drama. If you are, then this is not the place for you, because I don't even want to work with you. Something I want to talk about, what to bring to training. I know personally I overpacked. I brought a carry-on luggage and I brought a 25-inch roller bag. And I didn't wear anything in my 25-inch roller bag. The only thing I wore, everything was in my carry-on. So here I am, lugging around this entire second bag, and I didn't wear any of it. Why? Because in flight attendant training, your time is not your time. Your time is your airline's time. When your airline says jump, you say how high. But back to what to bring. So I was instructed to bring a white button-up blouse and black dress pants. And I had to wear that throughout the duration of class. And of course I brought workout clothes, I brought lounge clothes and pajamas. And that was all I wore. I didn't have time to go out to the club. I didn't have time for anything. Because like I said, your time is not your time. So I would recommend you just bring the minimum, because you're not gonna need it. But class would start at 8 a.m. and sometimes it would finish at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 6:15. 1.5 weeks, Monday through Friday. I think I had a Saturday class. So we would be in class the entire time. And when you get back from class, you had homework. So your time is not yours. They make it like short, so you really have to focus on everything, because you're learning a big amount of information in a small amount of time. So when I got back from class, it would be homework. It would be time for my homework. I wouldn't have time to like run to someone's room and go like chit chat, or you know, for long periods of the day, because you know, it was like intense. My entire class, we experienced fatigue like never before, because we would go to class from like 8 a.m. to sometimes like 6 o'clock, and there would be days where we would wait for the shuttle bus to pick us up. We would be waiting, and we would get out of class like at 6, and we would wait an entire hour for the hotel shuttle bus to come pick us up. And by that time, we would get back at 7, and then it would be homework time. And by the time you finished your homework, or you finished studying, you would be so tired that you would go to sleep. Me and my roommate, we would go to sleep at like 10 or 11, because we were so tired. I know there were times where we were so tired, and the instructor, she would play like videos on like crashes that happened, so we could see like why they changed like a specific type of rule, like the FAA changed something. And those times they played those movies, everyone's eyes would just shut. Everyone would go to sleep because we were so tired. And as soon as they flicked that light on, everyone woke up because we were so tired. It was so bad. And you know, it's like that for a reason. I've been a flight attendant for 2 months now, and everything that happened in training reflects the job. No sleep in training, no sleep at the job. when I'm on a trip, sometimes I'll get in at like 11 o'clock and I'll have like a 10 a.m. report time. I have to be at the airport at 10 a.m. So, you know, they're not doing these things to like, you know, be a pain in the ass. You know, they want to just like weed out who can do the responsibilities of the job. I know I mentioned I had a roommate in flight attendant training. They do give you a roommate. I had a class of 43 people, and there's no way they're going to give every single person a room by themselves. So no matter what airline you're with, you're gonna have a roommate. So you better learn to like work with people. For my airline, they gave us a survey that we took that, and someone from the airline matched us up with a roommate, and I got really lucky because me and my roommate, we got along pretty well. There wasn't like I have no complaints about her. The only thing I have to complain about her is she would burp out loud and not say excuse me. That was annoying. In flight attendant training, we stay in a hotel with the roommate, and there's no kitchen, which means you're microwaving food. They gave us a fridge and a microwave. Luckily, there's a grocery store across the street where we could go buy groceries, but we couldn't cook. We can only microwave. So, yeah, you're microwaving food, you're buying food from restaurants. Let's talk about pay. My airline, I heard other airlines don't pay for flight attendant training. My airline did pay, which is great, but the pay was really bad. Something that happened in my class was they didn't pay us our stipend until after we graduated. So the stipend-based pay was supposed to be for our food, but they didn't even pay us in time. So some people were complaining that they didn't have any money for food and things like that, because our airline was like slacking, you know? So at the end of training, we had graduation, and we were told that some of us would be sent to do our IOE, which is our in-flight training, or basically sort of kind of like an in-flight test, just to apply everything you learned in the classroom to like working in the plane. Basically, you're there with an instructor, and they show you everything, and you like do things like you're interacting with the customers and everything. So yeah, we were told that some of us might not go home after we graduate. We might go straight to our IOE, and some of us might, you know, spend a couple days at home before they go off to their IOE. So just expect that. You might not go home. You might go straight to work. That's not a bad thing for me. They gave me 2 days off, and then I went straight to work. Then I went straight to do my IOE, and I found that so other people had issues with being paid on time, and I found that I and a couple other people got paid on time, but we were the same people who finished our IOE first, so we kind of got lucky. While the other people had a break after flight attendant training, you know, they were able to use their travel benefits and go wherever they want in the world. I had to do my IOE 2 days after training, so I got lucky. So I think that pretty much covers flight attendant training. I didn't mention this before, but this is specific to my airline. A lot of these things will be the same or common with your airline. This is just generally how it goes. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer. I should be making some more videos about this, so let me know what you think. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.